Welcome back, viewers, to GS Coins, the trusted name in the world of vintage currency, rare coin analysis, and the hidden treasures that may be lying right in your own pocket or family collection. In today's video, we take a deep and comprehensive look at a fascinating coin from Australia, the 1967 10-cent coin. At first glance, this might look like an ordinary piece of change, but if you truly understand the coin's history, background, design, minting context, and present-day collector value, you'll realize why this coin is of significant interest not only to Australian collectors but also to international numismatists, including many in the United States and Europe. And as always, we'll uncover how much this coin is actually worth in today's market, especially when found in good condition. So stay tuned, because we're about to dive into one of the most beautiful and historically meaningful coins minted during Australia's early decimal currency era. The Australia 10-cent coin from 1967 holds a unique place in the nation's coinage history. To understand why this coin matters, we must first revisit a monumental event that took place in 1966, the year Australia officially switched from the imperial system of pounds, shillings, and pence to a brand new decimal system of dollars and cents. This change wasn't just about simplifying the currency, it was a significant step in Australia's development as a modern, economically independent nation. As part of this change, a whole new range of decimal coins was introduced, and the 10-cent coin, introduced in 1966, was the direct successor to the old shilling. The following year, in 1967, the second annual minting of this coin was released, and it continued to feature the distinctive elements that had already made it a symbol of the new monetary identity of Australia. Now let's talk about the design, because this coin is not just currency, it's also a piece of art. The reverse of the coin is a true masterpiece created by Stuart Devlin, the brilliant Australian designer and goldsmith who later became known as the official jeweler to the Queen. His reverse design features the lyrebird, an extraordinary bird native to Australia that is admired for its striking plumage and incredible ability to mimic natural and artificial sounds. The lyrebird is shown in a side profile with its magnificent tail feathers curling upward in a graceful display. This image represents the unique and exotic wildlife of the Australian continent and has become one of the most recognizable reverse designs in Australian numismatic history. The word Australia and the denomination 10 are engraved clearly, making it both artistically elegant and easy to identify. On the obverse side of the coin, we see the regal image of Queen Elizabeth II. This particular portrait, designed by Arnold Machin, shows the Queen wearing the famous Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. It's a classic image that was used on many coins throughout the Commonwealth during the 1960s and 70s. What's notable is that this was only the second time the Queen's image had appeared on decimal Australian coins, and the inclusion of her profile was a powerful symbol of continuity with British tradition even as Australia was establishing its own modern economic identity. The coin itself is made of a durable copper-nickel alloy, which has helped many examples survive in good condition over the decades. It weighs approximately 5.65 grams, has a diameter of 23.6 millimeters, and features milled or reeded edges, which not only enhance the coin's feel but also help deter counterfeiting. Despite the passage of time, many of these coins have maintained their form and sharpness, especially those that were either uncirculated or preserved by collectors early on. Now, let's explore what every collector really wants to know: how much is the 1967 Australia 10-cent coin worth today? Well, the value of any coin depends on multiple factors, including rarity, demand, condition, and whether or not it contains any unique errors or mint marks. The 1967 version of the 10-cent coin had a mintage of over 26 million coins. That means it is not considered rare in the strictest sense, but its age, beauty, and historical value still make it desirable among collectors. If you have one of these coins in average circulated condition, you might expect it to sell for around $1 to $2. However, coins in very fine or extremely fine condition, that is, coins that show minimal signs of wear, have full details, and retain some original luster, can command prices between $3 to $5 in collector circles. If you are fortunate enough to own a 1967 10-cent coin in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially if it has been graded professionally by companies such as PCGS or NGC, then the value can rise significantly. These coins might be valued anywhere from $10 to as much as $25 or $30, depending on the exact grade, rarity of the coin in that condition, and current market interest. High-grade examples with a flawless strike, clean surfaces, and rich toning are particularly attractive to high-end collectors and often sell quickly when listed online. Let's not forget the impact of error coins. On rare occasions, minting errors like off-center strikes, doubling on the lettering, clipped planchets, or coins struck on the wrong metal planchet can dramatically increase a coin's value. While not all errors are easy to spot, if you believe your 1967 10-cent coin looks odd or has imperfections that seem unusual, it might be worth having it examined by a numismatic expert or submitting it to a coin grading service. Some Australian error coins from the 1960s have sold for hundreds of dollars due to their rarity and uniqueness. Outside of pure monetary value, the 1967 10-cent coin carries cultural and emotional significance. For many Australians, it represents a time of change and national growth. For collectors in the United States and other countries, it offers a tangible connection to Australia's unique wildlife, rich history, and beautiful coinage tradition. Collectors often seek these coins not just for their resale value but also as pieces of a broader narrative of world coin collecting. Owning a coin like this connects you to a global community of collectors who appreciate history, craftsmanship, and the enduring appeal of metal currency. If you're lucky enough to own one of these coins, take care of it. Store it in a proper coin holder, avoid touching the surfaces with bare fingers, and keep it away from humidity or harsh cleaning methods. Preserving its condition is essential to maintaining or increasing its value over time. And if you're someone who found this coin unexpectedly, maybe in an old coin jar or inherited from a relative, now you know that it's much more than spare change. It's a piece of history. Next up, the 1980 Australia 10-cent coin. At first glance, this coin might seem ordinary, but as we dig deeper, you'll discover it carries a unique blend of design, history, and collector's value. If you've recently come across this coin in a box of old change, inherited it from family, or just want to know whether it's worth keeping or selling, then stay tuned. We're about to explore everything from its origins to its current value in today's market, especially when found in good condition. Let's begin by looking at the historical context of the coin. The year 1980 was part of an important era in Australian currency. The country had fully adopted decimal currency in 1966, and by 1980, the coin designs had become well-established symbols of Australia's economic identity. The 10-cent coin was part of this decimal series, serving as the equivalent of the former shilling in value. By 1980, Australia's economy was modernizing, and coins like this one were being produced in high numbers to support growing commerce and cash circulation. Despite this, many of these coins are now out of circulation and becoming increasingly collectible, particularly when preserved in good condition. The design of the 1980 Australia 10-cent coin is a true representation of national pride and artistic craftsmanship. On the reverse, you'll find the magnificent superb lyrebird, designed by Stuart Devlin, the official goldsmith and jeweler to Queen Elizabeth II. The lyrebird is one of the most iconic birds native to Australia, known for its elaborate tail feathers and remarkable ability to mimic natural and artificial sounds. On the coin, the bird is depicted with elegant curves and exquisite detail, showing off its distinctive plumage in full display. The reverse also carries the denomination 10 in large, bold numbers, with fine texture and clean engraving that adds to the coin's visual charm. The obverse side of the coin features the regal profile of Queen Elizabeth II, based on a portrait by Arnold Machin. This design shows the Queen facing right, adorned with the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. It's the same tiara used in her early coin portraits throughout the Commonwealth. Her image reflects both Australia's historic ties to the British monarchy and the country's continuing evolution into its own national identity. The words, Elizabeth II, and Australia 1980, frame the top and bottom of the coin respectfully, preserving a sense of balance and formality in the layout. The coin itself is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a silvery appearance and strong durability. It has a diameter of 23.6 millimeters, a weight of 5.65 grams, and reeded edges that are both functional and decorative. Thanks to its copper-nickel composition, many of these coins have survived the passage of time with minimal corrosion or wear. However, the real value in today's collector market depends heavily on the condition of the coin, so let's talk about that. In circulated condition, meaning the coin has been used in everyday transactions and shows signs of wear, the 1980 10-cent coin is typically worth slightly more than face value. These coins are still quite common in Australia, so their base collector value starts around 50 cents to $1.50 USD. However, if your coin is in good condition, where the details of the lyrebird and the Queen's portrait are still sharp and clear, the value can rise. In very fine to extremely fine condition, you might see values up to $2 to $4, especially if sold to the right collector or through online platforms. But here's where things get interesting. If your 1980 10-cent coin is in uncirculated condition, meaning it has no visible wear and still shines as if it just came from the mint, then you could be holding something much more valuable. Uncirculated coins can fetch anywhere from $5 to $15, depending on the coin's luster, strike quality, and whether it has been professionally graded. Coins that have been graded MS65 or higher by grading services such as PCGS or NGC can sometimes sell for even more, particularly if they show no surface marks and display brilliant eye appeal. Collectors also watch for any rare mint errors, which can greatly increase a coin's value. While the 1980 10-cent coin is not known for widespread minting mistakes, isolated errors like off-center strikes, die cracks, double dies, or planchet flaws can be extremely valuable. If you notice anything unusual about your coin, such as doubled numbers, missing edges, or uneven surfaces, it may be worth having it examined by a numismatic expert. Coins with authenticated errors can sell for $20, $50, or even hundreds of dollars, depending on rarity and interest. Beyond monetary value, the 1980 Australia 10-cent coin also holds cultural and sentimental value. It reflects a time when Australia was emerging into a new economic chapter and expressing its national identity through beautifully designed coinage. For collectors, this coin is more than just metal, it's a miniature time capsule. It connects you to the daily life, economic conditions, and artistic choices of 1980s Australia. It also adds depth to any collection of world coins or Commonwealth currency. So, what should you do if you have a 1980 10-cent coin in your possession? First, examine it closely. Use a magnifying glass if needed and check for any damage, scratches, or unusual features. Then compare its condition to grading charts available online. If you believe the coin is in very good condition or has a rare feature, consider storing it properly, in a protective coin holder, capsule, or album, to preserve its state. You can also reach out to local coin shops or online auction platforms to get a better estimate of its market value. Next up, the Australia 10-cent coin from the year 2011. At first glance, this coin may look like your everyday pocket change, but don't let the modern appearance fool you. The 2011 edition of this coin is far more significant than it seems. It stands at the crossroads of modern currency design, limited mintage, and future collectability. Whether you're a passionate numismatist, a casual coin enthusiast, or someone who stumbled upon this coin while going through an old wallet or family drawer, this video will walk you through everything you need to know. From its historic design roots, its actual rarity, to how much this coin is worth in today's market, especially when it's in good condition, we're leaving no detail untouched. To understand the importance of the 2011 Australia 10-cent coin, we first need to go back to the foundation of Australia's decimal currency system, which officially launched in 1966. This transition marked the end of the British-based pounds, shillings, and pence system, and welcomed in the dollar-based system used today. Among the newly introduced denominations was the 10-cent coin, which replaced the old shilling. Even decades later, the design of this coin has remained largely unchanged, a sign of its success and artistic value. The 10-cent piece quickly became one of the most circulated and essential denominations in everyday Australian commerce, and while its usage may have declined in recent years due to the rise of digital payments, its cultural and historical significance remains stronger than ever. The 2011 10-cent coin carries forward the same timeless design introduced in 1966. The reverse side of the coin features a beautifully detailed image of the superb lyrebird, a native Australian bird known for its extraordinary tail feathers and remarkable ability to mimic sounds from its surroundings. This design was created by renowned Australian artist and goldsmith Stuart Devlin, who later became the official jeweler to the Queen. Devlin's rendering of the lyrebird is not just an image, it's a tribute to Australian wildlife and a masterclass in coin artistry. The lyrebird's plumage is depicted in a graceful fan, curling upward around the number 10, with fine lines and curves that reflect the intricate detail found in nature. For over half a century, this same design has been stamped into millions of coins, but few capture its beauty as clearly as those from low mintage years like 2011. On the obverse, the coin bears the well-known portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This fourth portrait of Her Majesty was introduced in 1999 and used for 2 decades. Unlike earlier portraits, Rank Broadley's version shows the Queen with more realism and maturity, wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. The portrait is flanked by the inscriptions, Elizabeth II, and Australia 2011. This combination of royal legacy and national pride makes the 10-cent coin not just a piece of currency, but a symbol of tradition and authority, one that has remained consistent through decades of economic and political changes. From a technical perspective, the 2011 10-cent coin was minted in the Royal Australian Mint using a copper-nickel alloy, the same durable metal composition used since 1966. The coin weighs 5.65 grams, has a diameter of 23.6 millimeters, and features a reeded edge that helps prevent counterfeiting and makes the coin easier to distinguish by touch. These features may seem small, but they are the details that make this coin suitable for daily use while still being collectible and desirable to numismatists. The long-term consistency in design and size also makes it easier for collectors to organize and compare coins year by year. Now let's focus on what makes the 2011 10-cent coin particularly interesting, its low mintage figure. In 2011, only 1.7 million 10-cent coins were minted for general circulation, an incredibly low number compared to other years. For comparison, many other years saw mintages of 50 million, 80 million, or even over 100 million coins. This places the 2011 issue among the lowest mintage 10-cent coins in Australian decimal history, instantly increasing its desirability among collectors who seek complete year sets or who specialize in modern low mintage issues. Many of these coins never entered circulation widely, making it even harder to find a 2011 coin in good condition today. So, how much is a 2011 Australia 10-cent coin worth in today's market when found in good condition? In circulated condition, where the coin shows some signs of wear but still retains readable details, its market value typically ranges from 50 cents to $1.50 USD. However, collectors are always looking for coins in better condition, coins that have clean surfaces, strong luster, and minimal scratches. A 2011 10-cent coin in very fine to extremely fine condition could easily sell for $2 to $4, especially in collector markets like eBay, Etsy, or numismatic auctions. If the coin is in uncirculated or mint state condition, meaning it has never been used in circulation and shows no wear at all, its value can rise significantly, often reaching $5 to $10 or more, depending on its overall eye appeal and luster. Coins that have been professionally graded can be even more valuable. A 2011 10-cent coin graded MS65 or higher by PCGS or NGC may fetch $15 to $30 or more, especially if it's free from marks and shows full mint brilliance. With the mintage so low, high-grade examples are not always easy to come by. For collectors who are trying to build a full set of Australian 10-cent coins from every year in the highest possible grade, the 2011 edition is one of the harder coins to find. That demand continues to push the price upward. But there's more. What about error coins? While 2011 was not a year widely known for error coins in the 10-cent denomination, mistakes during the minting process can happen at any time. If you find a 2011 10-cent coin with a visible off-center strike, die crack, doubled lettering, or missing details, you may be holding something far more valuable than a standard coin. Depending on the severity and rarity of the error, such a coin could be worth $20, $50, or even hundreds of dollars, especially to collectors who focus on minting anomalies. Even if your coin doesn't have a rare error, it may still hold value beyond money. The 2011 Australia 10-cent coin represents a turning point, a modern collectible with limited availability. It captures the final years of Queen Elizabeth's reign on Australian coinage and carries forward a wildlife design that has become one of the most beloved in the history of modern coinage. Many collectors in the United States and Europe find Australian coins especially attractive due to their wildlife themes, precise minting, and Commonwealth ties. This makes Australian coins, even modern ones like the 2011 10-cent, sought after in international markets. So if you happen to own a 2011 Australian 10-cent coin, now is the time to check its condition carefully. If it's scratched, faded, or damaged, it might still hold small value as part of a bulk lot. But if it's clean, detailed, and well preserved, especially if it looks shiny or unused, consider placing it in a protective coin holder or album. If you're unsure about its quality, visit a local coin dealer or have it evaluated online. Who knows, you could be holding a small but valuable piece of modern numismatic history. Thank you so much for tuning into this detailed breakdown here on GS Coins, your go-to channel for rare coin reviews, real-time coin values, and deep insights into world currency. If you learned something today or simply enjoy discovering the hidden value behind everyday coins, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest videos. Also, leave us a comment. Do you own a 2011 10-cent coin, or are you planning to start collecting low-mintage Australian decimals? We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, stay curious, keep collecting, and remember, every coin has a story, and here at GS Coins, we bring those stories to life.